Welcome students to the new lecture, and in this particular video we are going to discuss method to find out HCF of two numbers. So I have four examples here for you, and these four are going to make it easier for you to find out HCF of any pair of numbers. So let's come to the first example. Now here you have the numbers as 4 and 8. The first thing that you should be doing, you have to simply get the difference between these two numbers. So the difference between these two numbers is 4, and once you get the difference, you have to just cross check whether the given number or whether the given both numbers are divisible by 4 or not. And you can clearly see this 4 first number is also divisible by 4, and your second number is also divisible by 4. So in this case your HCF is nothing but 4. I will repeat this property for my second example of 12 and 18. So in the second example also, you have to get the difference between the two numbers 12 and 18. So the difference here is 6. Once you get the difference, you have to just cross check whether both the numbers are divisible by 6 or not. So if you divide 12 by 6, yes, it is divisible, and even 18 is divisible by 6. So you can say your HCF for this example is going to be 6. Let's have some variation now. In my third example, your 21 and 35 are the two numbers. So if you want the HCF for these two numbers, the first step is same. You have to get the difference between these two numbers. Now if you take the difference between these two numbers, that is 14. The next part is same. You have to just cross check whether the given two numbers are divisible by 14 or not. So you can clearly see both the numbers are not divisible by 14. So in this case you have to factorize 14. So if you factorize 14, your factors for 14 are 2 and 7, or it's more like 2 into 7. So this time you have to just cross check whether your two numbers are divisible by any of the two factors or not. So if you just see the numbers, quite obviously both the numbers are not divisible by 2. So 2 cannot be the HCF. Let's try it for 7. If you look at the numbers, 21 is divisible by 7 and your 35 is also divisible by 7. So in this case, your HCF is going to be 7. I hope the slight change in the example is clear to everyone. The first two steps are going to be same. The only part is if this number, like in this case 14 was not the factor of these two numbers, so you have to factorize 14 and then you have to cross check whether the factors are making the difference or not. Now let's come to the last example. Here also you have to get the difference between the two numbers. So the difference between 7 and 13 is nothing but 6. Now after this you have to cross check whether 7 or 13 are divisible by 6 or not. So you can clearly see they are not divisible by 6. So next step is you have to factorize 6. So the factors of 6 are 2 and 3. So let's see whether the numbers are divisible by 2. You can clearly see both the numbers are odd, so they are not divisible by 2. And again both the numbers are also not divisible by 3. So as in this case, even the factors are not the HCF for the given numbers 7 and 13. So in such situation, your HCF is going to be 1. Now just to make it clear, if you have good observation, you should be able to catch that both 7 and 13 are co-prime numbers. Now what is meant by co-prime numbers? Co-prime means the two numbers don't have any common factor between them. I'll give one more example. Like if you have 4 and 9 as the two numbers, now these two numbers are co-prime or relatively prime as there is no common factor between 4 and 9. So if you have such number, in such example HCF is directly going to be 1. If there is nothing common between the numbers, you can say there is only one common between the number. So HCF is going to be 1. So in the next video, we are going to discuss HCF for more than two numbers.